We're going to tell you today how to slaughter your competition before the week even starts. Because you know what? Why not? While everyone is kind of slowly getting their week started, we're going to show you, we're going to dive into how to slaughter your competition before all that even gets going. And you will absolutely blow the doors off your business.
And with that, we're back with another episode. We are your hosts and neuroscience business coaches. My name is Saad.
And my name is Darius. And we're here to give you the minimum effective dose to scale your business. And this is really all about the stuff that we've learned from scaling businesses, specifically 30 million in under 18 months. And these are real life lessons learned in business and that we continually learn and evolve along the way. So here we are and help you cut out the time it takes to do that. And ultimately, you know, like we said, slaughter your competition right out of the gate before the week even starts. Well, everyone's still sleeping in. And we say that. And the reality is, you know, for most business owners, sometimes they don't feel like they have the off switch, or they're, you know, continually just going. Or like we said before, they're playing the game of business and like, oh, I want to grow the business and things like that. And today's really around, you know, okay, let's really dive into this whole idea of how do you do that? Mm-hmm. What are going to be what are the key things that are preventing you from being able to do that? And then what are the things that you need to start doing? So what do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? Mm-hmm. And how does that actually help you slaughter your competition before the week starts?
Yeah, exactly. I've actually had some conversations with a few business owners where they're, I actually heard this very interesting take. They're like, oh, well, you know what? I just want to be friends with all of my competition. It's like, yeah, cool. I don't know if you can, just because of like the nature of business, because your competition is not going to willingly hand you over work. There are times when people hand over scraps just because they don't have time to do it, but you're never going to get the top tier A client from someone because
that you're in direct competition with.
Yeah, exactly. That you're in direct competition with. So I get this whole woo-woo idea that like, yeah, we can all be friends in business. Like
we can be friends.
Strategic partnerships, absolutely doable. But somebody that is selling tires, and you know, if you're selling tires, they just have to sell they just will want to sell way more tires than you can.
Yeah, just be the best you possibly can. And so this is really all about, we say slaughter competition, but this is ultimately how do you get out of your own way to be the absolute fucking best.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And in that, like makes your competition irrelevant, mm-hmm. because at the end of the day, we actually don't really care about your competition. We care about you.
Yes.
And what you're doing. So spend less time worrying about your competition and worry about what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are some things that you see where business owners are like what are they doing specifically that's kind of kneecapping them from being able to like mm-hmm. really blow the doors off even at the week level?
Yeah. One of the biggest thing that we've seen is like business owners will come in on a Monday, take the first 4 hours, grab a coffee, you know, get settled in, you know, finally turn on their computer after the weekend and, you know, finally start tuning into their business mindset. And by noon, it's lunchtime. All right, we got to take a break. All right, let's plan the week out by 1 p.m., 2 p.m., you know, start thinking about the more critical things. Hold on, I got to go say hi to Joe real quick. I haven't seen him over the weekend, figure out what his weekend's been like. And as like all these little things you've already wasted a day. So you're already further behind. And everybody knows most people don't work hard on Fridays just because it's the end of the week. It's
Friday.
So technically, you're only working with 3 days now. So,
and we also know that most business owners, people that get paid to use their brains, only get about 1 hour focused work done a day.
Absolutely.
So you're really looking at like maybe 3 hours worth of actual focused work.
Maybe. Okay, now add in a long weekend or something. Now it's 2 hours.
Gotta get those long weekends
2 hours a week, exactly. So like those are things that stand out immediately. And you know, we were working with a client who's like, "Well, what am I doing wrong?" And it's it's right in front of your face.
Yeah. I would say then there's the whole other part. So that's a really long ramp up to even start the week. I would say that there's so much time being spent doing administrative work, like really low value work, and, you know, peppering your day, like having your email open all day. And then when an email comes in, you like have to respond to it, like those types of things, like all those really admin-y type things that aren't really the most pressing, but for some reason we've all been conditioned to believe that you need to have your email open all the time, or Teams or Slack or whatever it is, to be super responsive, because that somehow means we care more.
Yeah.
That's one. That's a really big one that I see. You know, that whole that includes like the got a minute meetings, right? Someone comes by your office, oh, you got a minute, and it's never a minute. It's never a fucking minute.
Exactly.
What else do you see that potentially are the things that that are really eating up business owners' weeks and really preventing them from being like really killing it?
Well, we were talking about constraints in one of our previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's avoiding the constraint, avoiding working on the thing that is important, and again, taking the time to prep. So one of the things that we like to do in our 1 month coaching program is like spend the day before you're actually gonna do anything to plan out what it is that you need to do.
Yeah.
Plan out your full flow blocks. Plan out your week with like how you can actually maximize those things. Also work with your own circadian rhythm. Like some people, just because they've seen routines of like starting at 3 a.m., like you don't have to do that. Do what works for you.
Does that include a bottle of water and spritzing your face with soda water?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely does.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that business owners do, or people just do because they've inherited these things, or they've been conditioned to run these really
cycles.
Yeah. Behaviors that they've just, accumulated over time. And I think the one thing we'll talk about is this idea of Parkinson's law. And this is one of probably the largest contributing factors to why they're so ineffective, is that, the idea of Parkinson's law is that work expands to fill the time allotted for it, right? So given that you may have one of these like big projects you're doing, right? Oh, I'm doing this thing, but there's really no, like, it becomes infinity work. It's just on and on and on. It's like all your admin work. It just always seems to fill all the time that you have during a day, and you never feel like you get anything done. So Parkinson's law is kind of like the main driving factor behind that, because it's the never ending work. It's infinity work. It just fills all of the nooks and crannies of your day. And then suddenly it's like, and then usually what it does is pushes out meaningful, important work. Cause, I got to do this thing. I got distracted on this one thing. I got to go do this other thing now. I respond to Joe's email over there. Yeah. And all these things. It's like, this project that just never fucking ends, because it's never really clear on what the actual project is. It's just working on this thing forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we were talking about this right before the podcast. It's becoming an architect instead of a firefighter.
Yes.
Constantly, going to the rescue every time, instead of like full out planning every single thing about every aspect of the business, and then, executing on it. Yeah.
And that's really, I think that this is the pivot point, right? So you talk about firefighting. All that stuff we just talked about is the really classic business owner, which is the firefighter, running from fire to fire to fire, all these things. And really how you
quickly and then feeling so proud of how busy they were.
Look at all the work I got done, but didn't actually grow my business.
Exactly.
So good. So busy. And then we want to move that from that to the architect, where you're actually designing the week that slays your competition, just slaughters them, because you're taking a different approach to it.
Yeah.
So what we want to do in that is we actually want to, in some cases, we'll come back to the really key point you made, but what we want to do is invert Parkinson's law, right? we want to take that. So instead of work expanding or whatever expanding to the time allotted, we actually want to compress the work to the time allotted to it. So we want to take a lot of those admin type things and email, and then we can apply different ways of doing that, like batching. So if you want to batch your emails, that means you don't have your email open all day, right? It's cool. Once or twice a day, you have a very specific time that's designated for that, right? If you have other admin work, you want to condense and you actually schedule that time in and you box it in and say, this is the time I'm going to do this work, this specific work, right? Because now we're going to start to invert Parkinson's law and we're going to compress it and box it and say, this is the time allotted for that. That's it. And magically what will happen is that work will start to compress and condense into that time block. And you know what? I might have another one later. Exactly. But then you can start to really invert that and make it so much better for yourself just in that simple thing alone.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to what you said. It was, and probably one of the most important parts of this is when we talk about the 1 month day, we do a lot of upfront work.
Yeah.
So the key to this and the real key to having an amazing week that really sets you miles and miles ahead is doing
1 month day.
Well, I mean, the prep work, right? It's plan your week out in advance, not rolling in at whatever time on a Monday and you're just kind of getting things going, right? We approach the week kind of like we do the 1 month day, is that we do the prep work and we plan it out in advance. Yeah. Because the idea is if you're just trying to figure out minute to minute, you're never going to have a plan.
Yeah.
And nor are you going to know how to take the time and condense those admin type things into proper boxes.
Yeah, and back to like back to where we started the conversation, is that like the constant task switching, you're losing your attention, and throughout the 3 days on the standard that we're talking about is like if you come in Monday, you're catching up with everybody, you're not doing anything. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're gonna be doing your firefighting, and you're gonna constantly be task switching. You're going to get 1 hour of total work done in that day.
Yeah. Focused work. Right. You will have put in a lot of hours.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you'll have put in.
Yeah. You're going to feel amazing about what you did, but when you quantify it,
you maybe have gotten an hour worth of actual focused work done, and it's like, and it's spread out the whole day.
Yeah.
And so you maybe have like 10 minutes here and and you've never really been able to take advantage of that nice deep flow state that comes along when you're really focused and really planned out, that your creativity just spikes 500%, right? You're getting maybe a marginal amount of more work done, but it's spread out during the day. And it's like, or guess what? If you built out some of those flow blocks in advance, right? Those nice focus work blocks, let's just say you did 90 minutes, you'd probably get at least 3 hours worth of work done. And so at a very minimum, you're getting over those 3 days, you're getting a lot more work done.
Exactly.
You'll get more because your Mondays and Fridays will actually be ready to go.
Yeah.
You won't be like floundering and like, oh, whatever. Or maybe you're on kind of another area where you come in on a Monday and you've spent the whole weekend just thinking and mulling over all the things you have to do, and you come in like a tornado and you're just running all over. Oh my God, do this and this, and you're causing chaos everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's like both of those are going to keep you from being able to blow the doors off your business and your competition, because you're just so ineffective. And you come in and you create, and then you run into the other problems where you're just creating so much chaos with your people. Yeah. You don't even create an environment where they're able to rise above and to grow. It's because you're so manic all the time.
Yeah. And that's all they're seeing. So as you try to promote them and grow them, they start doing the same thing as you are. And then you wonder, like, why is my business not growing? Yeah. It's because you're not taking the right steps. You're not.
Why are people leaving?
Steps. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who wants to work for a fucking manic boss like that?
Yeah.
That every 2 minutes you're on the emotional roller coaster. High, you're low. You're changing your mind every 2 minutes, and it's because you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
So then let's take that back even one step further to something you also talked about was the constraint.
Yes.
So really, like we're kind of like just reverse engineering this back more and more and more to say, okay, like this is the actual step is now you want to start planning out your week, but you also need to make sure that the work that you're focused on is about solving your constraint.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to box that time in to do admin work. We're also going to have then time to have meaningful thinking time where we're not just filling it in with more shit, which is another thing that people do. Oh, I reclaim this time, so then I just swap out that for other garbage. You're like, we're just doing more garbage more efficiently.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas it is really important as a business owner to have time to think strategically, to fill your pattern recognition system with either reading or learning additional skills, things like that, will help you grow your business, help you upskill, all that stuff. And then also then work on the actual constraint. What is the constraint? And then work to fill that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that all starts back at, it might be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whenever, like, depending on what works best. Sometimes some people, they work really great on a late afternoon Sunday or in the early evening. They just plan out, and it's really, you almost have a default calendar start to develop.
Yeah.
Where you start to understand your rhythms.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it takes the first iteration a little longer. The second time and third time, fourth time, you'll find that you get it all done in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because then you're really focusing on what it is that you need to do and get that rhythm, like you said.
Two things at play there. One is the skill. So you have to learn the skill of it. So it's going to take you a little bit to, as you get better at doing that, right, you'll get better at getting that thing done faster because you'll be understanding what distracts you or what you need to be working on. You're not going to nail it first off, right?
Yeah.
Because it is a skill acquisition.
Absolutely.
Right. And then the other part is you're going to just get better at knowing, oh, okay, you're going to get better at knowing what constraint, how to fix that, and then how to get to flow better, how to manage your actual time and schedule better and be like, oh, well, actually, I need to do my admin kind of like little block needs to be at this time on this day. But these days, because I've put all of my meetings early on or later on in the day because I'm doing all my like really heavy lifting in the morning, however, whatever works best for you, you start to figure out what that works best like. And so there's a couple things that are happening. You're kind of like learning the skill in a couple different areas, but just remember you're going to suck at it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like you just have to understand you're going to suck at it in the beginning. And then by doing that and doing consistently on a Friday, you're going to be able to go back and then or Saturday debrief it. Okay, what worked well, what didn't work so well. Okay, what do I need to adjust for the next week? And become disciplined in doing that and not filling the gaps now with garbage.
Yeah.
Because it'll be very tempting to do that.
Yeah, and one of the things that I like to do, at least for myself, if anybody's interested, like I try to build on on the momentum from the previous week. Like we've talked about the novelty of the new idea.
Yes.
Like, I don't try to like redefine the next thing. It's like, well, these are things, just like you said, doing a little retrospect, like these are things that work really well. How do I continue like building on more of this?
Exactly.
And doing more of that?
Yeah.
The things that didn't work, like let's get that out of there.
Yeah. What did I learn?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What do I need to change for the next one? Right.
Yeah.
So it's always like, build the foundation of what works.
Yeah.
Do more of that.
Exactly.
That works. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I can learn that. That's easy. And then you'll find there's still little things. Okay, well, and then it'll be troubleshooting that stuff. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about? Because we kind of took everyone through, okay, what is it, the things that are really preventing you from having a week that slays your competition and slaughters them?
Yeah.
The things that are keeping you from doing that. And then we transitioned to, okay, what are some of the frameworks such as Parkinson's law that are really key, but we're going to invert those. And then very specifics around, okay, what are the key things? So summary is invert Parkinson's law. We're going to get like condensed timeframes for admin and like all those things that expand. we're going to have flow blocks, but more importantly, like we're going to set up our week and plan for a week on the Saturday or Sunday on the most important thing.
Yep.
So anything else that we think we may have missed or that we need to talk about?
You know what? I think what's going to happen is in our next episode, we'll have a random moment where we'll remember, like, oh, actually, this also ties in.
Yeah. As we do.
Yeah.
I think I just had one. Here's the thing is like, this is a really easy way to, in the scaling playbook, like reclaim resources, reclaim time for the scaling playbook. Is by doing that, you're able to then build way more time. And you'll see how kind of like a lot of, like, this is a really tangible way, easy way to free up the things that are keeping your time occupied. So you'll reclaim a lot of time and energy back during the day. And then you can now leverage that time to coach your people, to develop your people and help them kind of upskill them and help them do the same thing where they're wasting a lot of time and not getting traction. You can also then start to coach them and build that skill with them. Yeah. And then you'll spend, as an organization, you'll realize just how many resources you actually now have available to then refocus into your constraint and solve that. Yeah. So I think today, this is all really like, and that's how you slaughter your competition. Like that's ultimately that will continue on, because you just kind of like freed up so much resources, time and energy and everything to like funnel into your constraint and fix it, create leverage. And then you're accelerating even faster now. Yeah. Awesome. So that is today's episode. We're your neuroscience business coaches. My name is Darius.
And I'm Saad. And
hopefully you got the minimum effective dose today to just absolutely slaughter your competition before the week even starts. So with that, we hope you enjoyed, learned something. If you did, share it, like, subscribe, all the fun things that you should be doing to support the channel that we offer completely and absolutely free every week to help you scale your business with the minimum effective dose. So if you happen to be our mothers watching this and our families, thank you very much. If you just joined us and have been along for the entire ride, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We do have a new tool coming out soon. So when we talk about the constraint on the next few weeks, we will be launching our first ever how to, in under 10 minutes, identify what your actual current constraint is. And then when you have that clarity, you can actually start moving forward, because what we found is that seems to be a really big sticking point is how do I actually, Assad, how do I actually find out what my constraint is, because I've been thinking about this and I don't know what it is. So we'll walk you through exactly how to nail that down. So make sure you stay tuned and sign up. We'll have the link below. But in the meantime, sign up for the masterclass, 57 minutes to reclaim 2 days a week of your life and grow your business. So with that, we appreciate you. We love you. And remember, you're just one day away from the life you've always dreamed about. We're going to see you in the next episode.